My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
I want to talk about another TikTok thing.
Okay.
I actually watched some social medias this week.
Wow.
Yeah. I lived a whole life this week.
Okay.
So I saw the woman who was running the marathon, who won the marathon. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, with her
kids, and the guy was like trying to shovel his kids out in front of her.
I didn't see this.
Yeah, it was a woman who was running a marathon. She was getting ready to win it.
Yeah.
So the finish line, the ribbon, is within sight. So a man with her 2 kids put them on the
Scoots them out.
Like on the other side of the finish line. So she's before the finish line and pushes his toddler kids out to go hug their mommy, like while she's trying to win this race. When he could have been on the other side of the finish line and she could have hugged her kids. But it's like, stole her and she had to run around her kids,
children,
dodge them in order to win this marathon.
Did she win?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad she won. But is he an idiot?
Yes.
Is he an idiot, or is he like deliberately trying to sabotage her for some reason?
Yeah.
That is fucking weird.
I don't know. There's a lot of speculation where people are like saying he just can't let, men can't let women live their lives or win anything.
Well, it's either that or he's very dumb.
I just think I don't know. And I think that it's this weaponized incompetence that we're getting into, right? Like where it's like, I just didn't know you told us to wait for you at the end of the line, and I'm just amazed. This is very,
no, but
I don't know.
You are an adult person with a brain. Like, I don't understand.
It felt to me, maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, definitely intentional in order to be an obstacle or like steal a part of that moment.
Yeah.
Or like, insert himself in her moment in some way.
It was giving very much like Harrison Butker vibes of like that whole like, you could win a marathon or whatever, but truly you're rewarded by your children.
Right. Yeah.
And your marriage.
And then but then this is the other side of the thing too, because then you have kids who are now upset because mommy ran past them.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really
she juked on them. She was like
boop, boop.
She had to.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with that later. Because like you are here, you just ran a marathon. Are you fucking kidding me?
You're literally
if I see the finish line, I'm finishing. Okay. Because you just ran for what is that? 26
miles.
This was a half marathon. So to be fair, it was
okay.
still 13 miles.
I can't even run a 5K without feeling like my chest is going to explode.
Yeah.
So like,
I can't even run up the stairs. So,
there's something wild to me about, because there is this whole trad wife trend or whatever. And we also had the conversation of like, why don't the red pill guys want to be with Pearl? Like, why don't they want to be with these people who are like...
Because it's an attraction to control.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. Because I'm like, you have the option to pick somebody. There are plenty, and I'm not making judgment calls on any of it.
Right.
There are plenty of women who that is what they want out of their life.
Sure.
And like they are happy to be at home and make their lives about their children.
But that's not really what they want.
Right. So I'm like, why do they continuously go after women who have these kind of like high achieving goals in their life only to try and put obstacles in their way to break them down?
Feel more powerful when they are able to break that.
It's a wild horse's mentality, right? Like, so, nobody can tame this wild horse. Nobody can tame this. I could do it, but I can't.
Or she'll do it for me.
We're the opposite in that way. Men are try to break where women try to fix.
Right.
Women are constantly in fix mode.
You're right.
That's so right.
And men are always trying to break it, And it's just a different way that they look at relationships. And I don't think I think it's an unconscious thing just as much as it's unconscious for women to want to fix everybody until we like cognitively are like, why do I always choose this type of person? It's the same thing for men. Why do I always choose women when I want them to be this way, but they're this way? Because you're attracted to that thing that you want your hand in. You want to have, it's this like
internalized misogyny.
But it's also too, women, again, on the other side though of that fix it thing is, I can be there. I can be the person who can be the thing that does it that no one else could do. There is ego behind both of these motives.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Just just find an equal match. Like there is somebody out there who wants the same things as you. You don't have to try and like break someone down, break down their personality, like just find somebody who's like, if you want to get all Christian about it, like find somebody who's equally yoked to you. Ugh. That is exact. But I mean, there's truth to that.
I don't like that term.
No, it does bring back. You're just shivering in religious trauma right now. But there is truth to that. It's like you want to find someone who's on your fucking level.
Yeah.
Why do you want to make this harder? And for women too, as a fixer type myself, like
but you know that now, like you're in a place where you can understand where that comes. That's again, this is why so many people do need to talk to somebody like a therapist to come to terms with those things. Those are things that we all understand inherently.
Yeah,
they're things that we come to understand because we've talked them through with someone else. Because we're like, oh my gosh, you know what? Actually, that's a narrative that's more my dad. I don't even know why. I don't actually even feel that way.
Or you have
but
to
I'm
live
so used to saying it,
right.
or I'm so used to hearing it, or I'm so used to being around this type of thing, or I'm part of a church that really has that standard when it's not even my standard. I just, and then
it takes a long time to figure out who you are.
It does.
And like what you really believe in. And it's a lifelong process and it changes constantly.
Yeah. I am constantly going to battle in my own head with just, like I told you guys recently with the thing I'm working on currently with my personal inside my head therapist is trying not to like tell Chris how to drive or tell people how to write emails or, it's just like it's a thing that I know that I don't like about myself that I'm like, that's unnecessary.
But there's
trait.
A level of self-awareness that you need in order to be able to do that on
and a
your
lot
own.
of people don't. And this is not like me patting myself on the back because I can do that. I'm just saying most people can't without somebody making them aware of it come to those places of recognition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I do think though, like, because there is the whole like weaponized incompetence thing, it does call into question for me a lot of times, like, do you know what you're doing? That's the thing that drives me crazy because I feel like I've come up against that in relationships in my personal life where I have to question that, where I'm like, I cannot tell, I really can't tell if you are just blind to this. Yeah. For some reason,
right?
Or if there is like some manipulation going on and you're acting stupid about it, like you're acting clueless.
That's the worst.
And but sometimes you really can't tell, and I'm like, I don't know if you're really clueless or if you're pretending to be clueless.
I mean, the thing that I came to when dealing with people like that is that both options are equally offensive to me.
I absolutely fucking agree.
I'm equally offended by both. And so, okay, I'm done. Like cutting people off with machetes.
Yes, no,
snip, bitch.
Bye. 100% on board with that.
Yeah.
But
because it shouldn't be our job to like, again, like educate them or, try to like figure them out and be like, oh, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Like I could
never picture a woman doing that. A woman is never going to put her husband's kids in front of him.
No.
It's also dangerous for the kids, I feel.
It was. There were other runners coming up fast behind her trying to beat her.
Like that. I could never see a woman doing that. Ever.
Speaking of that, though, and also weaponized incompetence, there was another TikTok that was viral this week of 3 different gentlemen trying to fold a stroller to get it back. And then a random woman walked up, pushed a button,
and it collapsed.
Yeah.
3
guys, they're throwing it around, they're doing it, and like people are filming them from like a car behind them trying to figure.
I do believe
so funny
that is a largely male issue. However, I have been there where I cannot fucking fold. There have been folding chairs that I'm like, is there a trick to this or what is it? Like where I'm like how do you collapse this fucking chair? You know what I mean? So I can't even like folding tables.
Here's the difference, Keegan.
Yeah.
You're like, is there a trick to this? Is there a way that
I would figure it out?
You would or you would ask.
Or ask.
You would ask. The difference here is you have 3 men who are just chest beating, who can't like just go fucking ask one person.
One of them, it's his kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ask your wife if
is
you
this your
truly
first?
Just don't know. Is there a trick to breaking down the stroller? Because I have been over here trying to mess with it.
Right. 100%. I would ask.
Fucking ask.
I would ask.
Instead of just It's in the computer.
You are right. If it is
like,
your kid's stroller,
yeah.
if you know you're doing like a daddy baby day,
yeah,
like, and you're going out and you're running errands and you're taking the kid with
daddy
you,
baby day just grosses me out.
You should
wasn't
figure
a
that
baby
shit out.
either. It was an old baby,
like a toddler.
So you've probably had that stroller for a while. Yeah. You should know how to break that shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That is on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's one button.
It's part of your responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like you should also know how to put the car seat in.
Yep.
Like these are just basic safety things.
Yeah.
Like that would actually really piss me off.
That's not new baby. That's old baby.
That would actually piss me off because because your wife knows how somebody
managing it for
exactly somebody in this
exactly right
in this household knows how to do all these things, and it's not you, which means that she's been doing it.
The thing that it made me think of too is women are biologically wired to not have sexual feelings for their children. So so if you have to mother the person that you're with,
I see what you're saying.
You lost us in the middle there for a second.
I got you back.
Got us back.
But
we were gone
it's
for a
that
minute.
whole thing of just like how and
It's a
maybe
turn-off.
I'm
It is a
having
turn-off.
conversations with other people in
you are
my
right.
life.
This is an awakening episode.
Who are really like in a place where they're tired of mothering their spouse in a big way.
Yeah. I've had conversations as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
and I've actually seen it in TikTok comments. There are women in the comments who are saying like, I actually do less work as a single mom of 2 kids than I did when I was married to my husband because I was mothering him. Yeah, too. I was managing his schedule. I was doing everything. I was,
Wow.
And I actually do less work. It's easier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is sad.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Like you're partners. You should parent equally. You should step up and help your spouse.
Too much labor, kids.
Yeah.
Too much labor.
I hope that woman, Paris Paloma, or whoever wrote that song, is getting just
all of it. Just give her money.
Stacks on stacks. Yeah.
Just throw money at her.
Yeah.
So I had an idea. This is very non sequitur, but I was just thinking this morning about how I'm really just starting to embrace being a fuller figured woman. And I'm like, kind of like just kind of getting to this place where I'm really settling into being happy with.
Yes. And have you guys seen, because I know we've all watched Bridgerton, did you hear about that article that woman wrote about
Nicola
Coughlan, basically saying, this is ridiculous. No one would ever believe that Colin would fall for her
fucking
because
dare you?
she's fat.
What?
Literally wrote that.
There's so much to break down.
Put it
published.
There's so much to break down there.
Wow.
So much. I don't even know where to start with that. She is
beautiful.
Oh my God.
She has the most stunning skin I've ever seen in my life. I literally
made Chris watch the how like when you put on Netflix and the thing just pops up. I'm like, let's watch it because her reveal is so incredible.
Oh my God.
It's beautiful.
Her fucking glow up in that when she goes and gets to the thing and like her titties to the sky. I was like, she is so hot.
No, there's so much wrong with what that person has said.
No, we're back. We are definitely in the age of semi-glutides. We are back to judging people's bodies again.
Wow.
And I thought we were beyond it, but we are.
Well, we were never beyond it. I don't
Same
think
with fucking office sirens being popular again.
Yeah.
They're wearing business casual to the club.
Yeah.
Like they're bringing it back.
I love that. Like here's what you
what?
should wear. Office siren is like a aesthetic. And they do kind of.
They're going to the club
in a vest.
We did this.
Yeah,
we
did
been here.
This. I have pictures of me like this.
Icy eyeshadow. Icy lips.
I'm triggered.
Yeah.
But there are people who really think they can wear this shit to the office, and it's like you're gonna get HR'd so fast. You cannot wear a mini skirt and like a vest with nothing under it to the office.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
I will say, like, I think we never stopped hyperfixating on bodies. I think it got better for a while there, but I think the beauty standards shifted. Yeah. And it became more about like BBLs went crazy, like with the Kardashians.
Yeah, I have my own natural BBL, which is what I'm starting to embrace.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really, that's the thing. So the reason I was bringing this up is because I'm starting to like, you know what? Like not really that mad. Like now that I got a little bit more extra cushion, I have less dimples, I'm noticing. So like, I'm like, there's things to embrace about my changing body. Listen, women, our body goes through a lot of changes. Like we have, I mean, like any person with a uterus understands how much our body goes through and changes.
Yep. Right.
However, that being said, last week we did rat boys, which I think are inherently like these kind of thin, tall, twiggly guy.
Yeah. By the way, we got a lot of shit
for big boy. I want to do a big boy.
I do want to address this. We got a lot of shit for including Tom Hiddleston.
I stand by what I said.
A lot of people came at us.
I stand by what I said.
He is
epitome.
I would say I wouldn't say he's the epitome. I think he's conventional. I do think he's conventionally attractive. I would say Tom Hiddleston.
I did like your response to it. That he's like the Elvin
Prince rodent.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
and I because there is something still rodential about him. So I'm with you, Cassie.
I stand by what I said, and I have no.
She said what she said, and she's got no regrets. Big boys.
I'm putting in a
can
thick
we
boy.
do just thick people?
Big boy or big people. Big people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, this is my type. Right. This my type. Oh,
yeah.
That's my type.
That's my type.
You know who I'm going for?
Who are you going for?
I think is oh gosh, what's his name? Momoa. Jason Momoa.
Ooh,
you know, but he's like a big boy.
Yeah,
he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. It could be, you know, it doesn't have to be muscly big, but you know that's my type.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna go for that.
Momoa. Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's a lot to choose from, really.
I kind of know what Jason Momoa's sign is because in my head he's an Aquarius just because of Aquaman. And I don't think that's true.
Okay, I'm choosing Vince Vaughn.
Okay, and I'm going to go with Queen Latifah.
Okay.
All
right.
So Vince Vaughn, Queen Latifah, and
Momoa.
Okay, I know Queen Latifah's sign.
Okay.
And it's going to cause some problems for me, unfortunately. So Queen Latifah's birthday is 2 days before mine. She's March 18th, so she's a Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems like a strong, level-headed Pisces.
I think Vaughn is a Capricorn.
That would be great. I will tell you that Momoa is a Leo, and that makes sense to me.
Yes.
I love that we both picked. I picked fire. It would be great if you have an earth in here.
Yeah, so we pick our own. We're attracted to our own elements. It seems.
No, interesting. Aries.
Oh boy.
Oh no. I'm screwed.
We've talked about him before because we've done him on a fuck, marry, kill before. Yeah, you're in trouble.
I'm screwed.
But you know, Pisces women are different than Pisces men.
Yes,
I will say that.
Oh God, Queen Latifah too. God, what a badass bitch.
She holds that shit down.
Shit, yeah.
And you know she holds it down.
Oh man,
you know
her in Chicago. That's where I think I fell in love with her.
And her titties to the sky. Ooh, yeah, it looks great,
man.
Yeah, and she seems like I want to know what the rest of her chart is like because I get organized vibes from her.
Yeah,
you know, like I bet her closet is organized.
There's a Virgo placement in there somewhere.
She's like a Virgo rising or something. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that I mean, it makes it tough because my instincts say, even with a Pisces woman, and it is different, Pisces women and Pisces men.
That's true.
I really do feel like Pisces on Pisces, our birthday's 2 days apart. I don't know that that would really work.
I do know. I think that I am going to marry a Pisces woman. I actually think
it'd be good.
Great luck for Pisces women.
Yeah.
Keegan included.
Thank you so much.
I'd marry you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's
I'd marry
nice.
you. I'm going to marry Queen Latifah. This is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to, and I'm going to fuck Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be barely friends with.
And you're going to set buildings on fire with Vince.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to try not to destroy the earth together.
This is tough. You know what? Actually, I know what I'm going to do as well.
Okay.
I'm going to marry Jason Momoa.
I see this for you.
I think that there is, even though he's like a Leo, there is something stabilizing about him. And his relationship with Lisa Bonet, I think, is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah. Even though they're divorced now, they still have I think a good relationship. I know Zoe still has a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's amazing. I want to let you know that Lenny Kravitz
has been celibate for 9 years. He's been saving it for me. I know.
Yes.
That's so nice of him.
It's so sweet.
Oh my God. He listened to this podcast. That's why he announced it. He's like, just let you know.
He's like,
I haven't been fucking around.
Sending signs.
Yes. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, this isn't for Keegan, but if you're listening, I have been saving myself.
Call
and I'm going to blow your brains out.
I will be, I'm going to marry Jason Momoa.
You just call my name.
Zoe Kravitz, poor thing. I'm coming after her dads. Coming for your dad.
Oh, dude, stepmom vibes.
Yes. Oh man,
stepmom energy.
Listen,
hi, hot stepmom summer.
Hot stepmom summer. Yes, definitely. Yes, the title of this episode.
But okay, so I am gonna marry Jason Momoa. I think that. Yeah. It feels right to me,
It's a good one.
And I also I have a lot of experience with Leos. My mom's Leo, my brother, my grandpa. Like, I feel like I can handle it. You know? I know what to expect, and I can head it off at the pass. I'm gonna. This is hard. I actually think I'm gonna. I love Queen Latifah so much. I think I'm gonna fuck Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
I think that there's something fun.
He's a March Aries too.
He's got energy.
Oh, okay.
It's different from an April.
It's true.
Listen. I love my sign very much, but we are a selfish bunch in bed, and I will tell you. If you got struggles in getting there, it's not Vince Vaughn. I'm just saying.
I believe you, actually.
I'm just saying.
I feel like he would make a good pizza.
Yeah.
But
I think we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would
might not get off. I'm just saying it. I just
won't
need you
break
to know.
your heart when it's
all right.
done. Yeah. You'd be like,
I do think Queen Latifah will get you off. I think that she would.
I think a Leo will too, and I think that as long as there's a mirror present. And I'm happy to have a mirror present as well.
I am too.
And you look like him, and I think it's actually required that you have a mirror.
Yeah, I would require
I want us to all have a mirror. I want the whole room to be a mirror, actually.
Yeah.
I want to get dizzy.
In a glass room. Yeah.
Vertigo.
Fucking in a fun house. I'm gonna stick with it because I think that there would be a fun energy. I just think that it would be like a good date leading up to it. Yeah. I think you're gonna take some shots of tequila beforehand.
You just aren't going to be able to take him seriously.
No.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Yeah. Although I think he's actually, from what I've seen, I think he's actually a surprisingly serious person. So maybe not. Whatever.
It'd be tough, yeah. Anyway,
and then I'm going to friend Queen Latifah.
Of course.
I think that she would be I just think that she would be the chillest friend. Like, she'd be so cool. She definitely has like a basketball court at her house.
Oh, for sure.
Like barbecues over there.
You're going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
I feel strong about this marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to marry Queen Latifah. Mm-hmm. The other two are just not
too chaotic
options.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
And you're right. I feel like Queen Latifah has some strong earth energy in her chart.
It's a grounding presence with her.
But even without it, like a Pisces cap is a strong match.
I do. I need somebody to remind me what emotions feel like. Yeah. So I'm like, emotion. That is something to consider within other people. Okay. And then I'm gonna fuck Momoa.
Yeah.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
I want to grab that hair. It's gonna be great.
Let him grab my hair.
We're gonna role play like Akatar.
I would trust him to hold me up. Because there's a lot of people that you can't trust to fuck you standing up. But like Momoa,
I don't enjoy fucking standing up, but I would with him.
I feel the same. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Would do it's not on my
for you. I will.
For you, I will.
Oh, lovely.
Well, we do have a new patron. I want to give a big patron worsty welcome to Paige Rodriguez. Thank you so much for joining us on our Patreon. If there's anything that you want to see on there, we're going to be watching next week. We're going to be watching Challengers.
Yes.
And that's going to go up on the Patreon. So if there's anything that you want to see, any questions you have for us, any fuck, marry, kills you'd like us to do, please don't hesitate to reach out. Actually, speaking of that, we did have someone reach out to us. And so I want to read their message. So this is someone who's listened to it for a long time because I recognize their name. But she says, I love you ladies and have listened and been a patron for a long time now. I have a show I love that's not getting picked up because of not enough views. It's fun. It's a fun homie show called Welcome to Flatch. please watch it and talk about it.
Okay. Welcome to Flatch.
Welcome to Flatch.
It does.
Is that a British show?
I don't know. I've not heard of it. But I wanted to give it a shout out because I'm like, if all the worsties, if our patron asks us, asks something of us, I'm happy to deliver. If all of our worsties want to give that a watch, we can try and save this show for our friend, our worsty friend here.
Nice.
It was on Fox. It's on Hulu. It looks like now. Welcome to It's a documentary film crew follows a group of young adults in their current concerns in their small town.
Ooh, interesting.
So, okay.
All right. Sounds like coming of agey, maybe.
Fun.
Cool. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
Cool.
And we're back. Okay, I have the Tainted Love this week, so I am going to kick us off with stories. This is from Reddit. This is from the Ask UK subreddit.
Oh, amazing.
Which I found to
Yes.
be very fun.
I love that.
You know, I love
one.
when you find a fresh batch, you know? Okay. Last year, I went on a date with a guy I met online. He seemed nice. We'd exchanged messages for about a week before we arranged the date. He was a manager at a construction company, house, car, dog, allotment, and his profile said that he was in his mid-30s. We arranged to meet at a pub halfway between us, and I was excited. It was so bad.
Oh, no.
Oh.
He was easily mid-50s.
Oh.
I refused to believe he had been in his 30s within the last decade.
Oh,
no.
Come on.
I just could never. I really couldn't. Like, I would hesitate to even use pictures of me from like 5 years ago.
You know why? He put his fucking age as 30 so he can date 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Okay. It got so much worse. I'm pretty sure he was in a cult.
Oh, no.
I've dealt with anti-vaxxers before. Fine. You respect my right to choose to have a vaccine, and I'll respect your choice not to. But this guy was another ball game.
Oh, no.
He didn't believe in medicine.
Oh, no.
He
what
told
in the Christian Science?
He told me about how proud he was that his mom, who died of cancer, didn't get treatment.
No.
So proud of her for not getting treatment for her cancer. He told me that if he broke a bone, he wouldn't get it fixed and would just let it heal. It was all about natural selection, and medicine was preventing that. And so the world was becoming populated with weaker people.
Wow.
Wow. Then there was the water thing. He didn't use tap water because it's poisonous. Obviously. Put a pin in that.
Is it making the frogs gay?
Yeah, obviously.
I am weird about tap water.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's poisonous.
I think it just tastes funny.
I just think I have a weird palate.
Yeah. Oh, ours actually is. So
yeah.
Like poisonous? I am not. Well, it's got high levels of stuff that I don't want to drink.
You know, I grew up on bottled water.
Oh, I'm a tap girl.
Yeah, my
and
parents
I'm fine
had
with my tap water
delivered.
in Germany. It tastes really good and it is good, but here it tastes funny. I don't like.
But I would drink it if I needed to. Like if I was like, I need to hydrate. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like
just doesn't taste good.
I'm bougie like that. But he doesn't drink tap water because it's poisonous. Instead, every 2 weeks, he drove hundreds of miles with some kind of tank to transport water from a well to his home. Hundreds of miles. In England, that's like thousands of miles.
It honestly,
never go
exactly.
Thousands
that's a lot.
So true.
That's not
You're
an American
also probably
mile.
a different country at that point.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to like
the Wales.
Belgium. Yeah.
I don't think that'd be a really hard drive.
I don't know.
It's underwater with a snorkel.
Oh, you're right. I'm so stupid.
I mean, you could do it. You got the channel. Like you could do it. Exactly. Like through France. It's
Jesus
doable.
Christ. I'm over here proving all the Europeans on TikTok right. Yeah. Americans are so dumb. Okay. To transport the water from a well to his home, and he thought I was crazy for using a Brita filter for my water. Can it get worse? Yes.
Oh no.
Great.
He ended the date by asking to see me again and then gave me a schedule for our relationship.
Oh, okay. All right.
I do love an organized man.
Yeah.
See?
He's a Virgo. He'd know in the next 3 months if he wanted to live with me.
Okay.
And then I'd move in with him and sell my house.
Oh.
Within 3 months of moving in with him, he'd know if he'd want to get married. So expect a proposal in about 6 months.
Got it.
In the future.
Okay.
We'd need to have a short engagement because I was 28, the horror, And it's bad for women to have babies after 30.
Oh. Ew. Okay.
But women should also only have babies when married.
Wow.
If I survived childbirth, he'd obviously want more kids too.
Because he's going to make her like give it in a kiddie pool in the living room, probably.
And no shade on that. My mom had both my brothers at home, but like that's your choice. He doesn't get to dictate how you have a kid.
I can't fucking imagine.
Right.
No, you can't because you would have.
I would have died.
Yeah, you had a traumatic birth. Yeah, you had a
died.
traumatic birth.
Dude.
Shit.
Oh my God. That's terrifying.
Yes. If I survived childbirth, he'd obviously want more kids too. So you're going to have to go through this ordeal multiple times.
Is this on the actual thing that he says if you survive childbirth?
I think she might be editorializing.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm like, wait, so he's literally like...
That would be my thought too. Like if this man, like for real, doesn't believe in any medical intervention.
Didn't care that his mom passed, actually was proud of her.
Because here's the thing. My mom did have my little brothers at home, but if she had needed, she was monitored the whole fucking time. And if she had needed to go, she would have gone.
Of course.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but this guy sounds like he'd be like, well, if you die, you die.
Yeah.
You know.
And good job on you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's also the type that would, like, if they were like, you need to choose. Like, do you want us to save your wife?
Is the baby.
He's letting that woman go.
Yeah.
I can't hate this more.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
I told him I didn't want to see him again because of our differing beliefs and legged it to the car. I'd blocked his number before setting up the sat nav and have thankfully never heard from him since. I also haven't been on a date since. I'm now happily single with 2 dogs.
There you go.
She's like, that's what, you know
your
what?
peace.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oof.
No, conspiracy theories, I mean, beyond birds not being real, like...
Yeah. Which we all know is true, as
Obviously.
well as the pyramids being batteries.
And also
which
made
we all know.
by aliens. Literally... I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. This one.
My brain couldn't even get that whole sentence.
I know.
No, but we were with you.
Short-circuited.
We were with you. This one will make you very mad.
Oh, great. Cool.
More anger.
Yes. This one gives me that fucking TikTok alpha dom vibes.
No, dirty fingernails.
Yes.
That's all I think about now. Dirty fingernails.
I can't wait. Okay. I went on a date, even though I had already written him off. It was sight unseen date, internet dating from back in the day.
I have to pause you right there and just say, I don't have the energy for that. If I've at my big old age,
date,
but if you've already written someone off, I'm not wasting my time or your time.
No, what are we doing?
Time is all we have.
Precious.
It's true.
It is
precious. Profound of you to say that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is all we
and
have.
We were chatting on the phone and he asked, "Are you attractive?" What? And that's what she writes. What?
According to whom?
She says, "I am not now, nor was I then, but I had never been asked like that. And I have been on a lot of sight unseen first dates to that point. Now, I am not attractive, but I wasn't going to tell him that." So I said,
I don't like that.
I don't like that. Well, you're definitely attractive. This is weird.
Everybody's going to say
that about themselves.
Maybe you can say like, I don't know. Maybe you're thinking like conventional attraction.
Sure.
But
I mean, everyone is different and likes different things. That's such a hard question to ask. I understand. Yes, there's a basic standard of beauty that we operate off of. However,
but it changes.
It changes, and what one person likes, another person doesn't like. It's so subjective. So like. If you were asking me that question, I don't know how I would reply.
I've never been asked by a stranger.
No, because it's weird.
Attractive?
It's weird.
Isn't that a weird question?
It's a very
I thought it was weird.
Weird question.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
Good. I and she thought it was weird too. So yeah. Okay. We're all in the same boat. So I said, I carry myself well stylistically and I have an amazing smile.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
Exactly.
It is.
What else do you want?
He wasn't sure. So he asked, has a guy ever told you
Listen,
that
all
you were
right,
attractive?
this conversation is over.
We're fucking
Click.
done.
How fucking dare you?
No, I'm done. Are you?
Yeah.
Has a woman ever said you're attractive?
100%.
Right.
What do you look like?
Isn't it giving like alpha dom energy? Right.
Did you see that TikTok of the guy who met Alpha Dom? He met him. I'll try to find it because it's so funny. Because he recognized him. And then he went up and was like, "Can I take a picture with you for my social media?" And Alpha Dom was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, I'm not taking no for an answer," because he's like, "Don't accept rejection." So he took a picture with him, and you can see he's got him by the shirt. Like he's holding it. I'm not taking no for an answer. Because that's his whole philosophy.
Listen, hey, good for the goose,
don't dish it out. Yeah,
that's right.
If you can't take it.
So that was the deal breaker. Like, I guess I need to provide references. I was about to tell him to forget it, but he went on to explain why he was asking.
You provide references for 3 women who you have taken to climax.
Yep.
Give me their phone numbers and let me call them.
Let me see your CV.
Let me see if it's real.
To climax. I need a full res.
He says, "I just want to know because I am a really good-looking guy."
Okay. I bet he's not.
No.
I bet he isn't.
I got money on it's not. If I was a betting person, I would bet not.
God. Now I was intrigued because to that point in my life, I had never met a man who described himself as attractive. Like, I knew guys who were confident in how they looked, in that they could clean up well, but most of the guys I knew didn't even really know what they look like, especially not on any scale of attractiveness.
I would agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolute
Women
blindness.
constantly have, we are over aware.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a $1 billion industry to make us. So, yeah. So then I had to know what a guy who described himself as really good looking.
I see why
like.
she went on this date now. All right.
Yeah.
We agreed.
It was for science.
Camera
it's not
out.
a waste of time. It was
camera out.
Got it.
We agreed to meet. He said he was Nordic looking and would be wearing a red jacket. So I was thinking
he thinks he's a Skarsgård.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
He ain't.
They never are.
No.
You know, that is the thing is like, if you, if I haven't seen you and you are too preoccupied with Nordic culture, I'm concerned. It's a red flag.
Yeah.
I'm like,
who are you, Led Zeppelin?
Right. I don't.
No. After all, he said he dated model-like women, attracts and all that.
This is actually Alpha
This is that guy.
This is Alpha Dom.
I arrived. I saw him. Lesai. Now listen.
Turned around, got back in my car.
He was not ugly. I probably would have been attracted to him if he had a decent personality.
And if he hadn't already told you how fucking
right.
he was.
Don't oversell yourself. If anything, undersell.
Exactly.
So that whenever they see you in person, they're like, wow.
No.
Under promise, over deliver. This is science.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. But he was most certainly not an objectively, quote unquote, really good looking guy of the sort who could be sure to lock down a 9 to match his 10 on the attractive scale.
Okay.
Dumbest date ever. He spent most of it looking at this other woman on the other side of the coffee shop. To be fair, she was unbelievably attractive, and
She don't want you.
I had this fantasy play out where I end up dating her, but that's a different story.
I love that. I wish that's how this story ended.
I do too.
I really do. I really do. Wow.
I wish she went over and was like, "Hey, excuse me."
Notice you from across the bar.
And she's like, "Oh yeah," and they leave together. And the guy's all dumbfounded.
Actually, I would do it like that. I'd be like, "Actually, I'm on a date with this guy who told me he was like a 10. He's very much like been looking at you the whole time, and it'd be really great if you just walk out of this bar with me right now."
Yeah.
Just that.
We just walk
Girl
out with
code.
Oh yeah, I would
totally
be in.
would.
I'd be like, and then can I hold your hand?
Yeah.
I would put my
100%.
arm around you.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I'll put my jacket on your shoulder.
The amount of things.
I put my hand in your back pocket.
If a strange woman came up and asked me to do pretty much almost anything,
Same.
I would be like, yes, and like
Absolutely.
I took classes at the Groundlings.
Yeah.
I know
done
what
that
you
before.
do.
Truly,
I think
truly.
all women have been in that position before, or most women, like where you're at a bar at night and either you need to go up to someone or someone comes up to you and you're like, yeah, whatever you fucking need.
That happened to me in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So I got disconnected from my group because I had to use the restroom because I have the bladder of a fucking tiny ant. And so I ran to the bathroom and I had to catch up with him. And then I was like literally on the streets of New Orleans by myself. And I was like, I saw a couple guys, probably not sketchy at all, but just in my mind,
you don't know.
You're a man and I don't know you. And I would rather you were a bear.
Like a strange place too.
And then so there was a group of like 3 women who were kind of up the block. So I ran up to behind them and I was like, hey guys. And they were like, I scared them. But I was like, I'm by myself and I would really like to walk with you. Oh, absolutely. They like immediately.
There is that girl code. That is part of girl code. It's like, I've definitely had that happen at a bar where a woman has come up and said like, hey, can I just stand with you for a little bit because like that guy is weirding me out. Absolutely fucking you can come sit at the table.
We're actual friends now.
Yeah, we are buddies now.
We're actual friends.
You know, we've talked about this before, but the number of phone numbers I have in my phone of just like women I met in like a bar bathroom or whatever. Yeah.
We need to be doing this with each other. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway. Anyhow, my story. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys think this is as funny as I do.
I'm excited.
A guy picked me up on his motorcycle to take me back to his place. He pulled up to the shed by his house so I could get off and he could store the bike, right? Wrong. The shed was his room.
I knew that's where this was going. I knew it.
This could already be a horror story, but we're talking first date, not near-death experience. He invited me in where there was only one place to sit, a recliner, which he sat in. My mistake, because there was another place to sit, which was his lap, which he alerted me to.
Oh.
And I chose to create a crate instead.
Oh.
A first date. Oh.
Come into my shack.
And sit on my lap.
Have a little
sit on my lap. In my lazy boy.
It's still not as bad as the guy that had the fishing hole.
I was going to say the hole in the floor.
And what the fuck?
You know, but
truly,
like,
I think about that story
all the time.
Rent-free.
Yes.
Rent-free.
Life is hard. Okay.
Yes. Listen,
and like,
I get it.
I'm not here throwing shade on anybody's shit, but if you have one chair,
you're not ready to date right
be
now.
a gentleman. You offer that chair to your guest.
That's right.
It's just common courtesy.
Absolutely right.
I don't know if maybe that's just a Midwest thing, but that's immediately what I thought too.
You offer that chair to your guest, whoever that guest may be. Yep. They get the chair. That's how
exactly
that works.
Right. Your lap is not a chair.
What is wrong with you?
He shared his airplane bottle of mouthwash flavored vodka with me, and within maybe 15 minutes said I looked like I wanted him to kiss me.
Oh God! I got chills.
I have not had enough to drink. An airplane bottle I'm sharing. That's half a shot.
Yeah.
What I wanted was to pee. So he took me into his house.
No, you don't. You don't want to pee.
On the property, which was his mom's. She was watching TV on the couch. And
No, I'm seeing this right now. She's like watching like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Jeopardy. Yeah, for sure.
Just lots of clapping in the background. God.
Yeah, the room is dark except for the glow of the TV screen.
Yeah.
And she's not prepared. She's got like her jammies on or something.
Oh,
maybe her hair tied
what,
up.
though? I feel like this behavior is probably not out of the norm for this guy.
This woman is
she's like, I don't know.
The mom.
Yeah.
As of somebody who's a mom and has a 27-year-old son, I'd be like, let me meet her.
Yeah.
You brought her inside the house. I want to meet her.
Honestly, if it was you, I'd spend the rest of the night with you. I wouldn't go back to the shed.
Mm-hmm. She was watching TV on the couch. And when I came out of the bathroom, he ushered me from the couch to sit and chat with his mom.
Well, I'm hanging out with mom now. We're watching Wheel of Fortune.
I used our initial agreement to request a ride back home shortly after that. The next day, I texted something along the lines of, I just have this feeling that we're not compatible and, wishing you well. He said, quote, your loss.
A lot of men overvaluing themselves in all 3 of our stories. I'm like,
truly. Your loss.
Your loss.
Your loss,
I need a fucking 10th of the confidence of a mediocre dude.
I wish I did have that.
Your loss.
My life would look so different if I moved through life just thinking that like everyone should be saying you're welcome every time I have an interaction with them.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried I tried this multiple times. Have you tried walking through an airport not being the excuse me? person, the ma'am who moves out of the way.
I'm definitely large enough that yes, and it works for me.
I've done it now, and the number of guys who just can't fucking believe that I wouldn't move out of their way, that they had to move out of my way when I'm just walking as normal as they are. Oh, it's like I want to wear like a camera.
Yeah, you should.
It would be amazing.
You should next time you go to the airport.
They can't like believe the audacity of that me just walking.
I have never done this because I'm people pleaser personified.
Totally.
So I've never done this, but I should try it.
Yeah.
Because I wonder, because I do get fed up with people at fucking airports.
I'm constantly, the zigzags that I have to do in the airport just to go around people who won't move out of my way.
Yeah.
Why should I be the person that always has to move out of the way? Why don't you move out of the way?
And my carry-on's kind of broken. So like the wheel is wonky. So like doing all that maneuvering is also kind of like a pain in the ass.
I have an away bag. I wish we were sponsoring by this, but
me too.
Call us.
And I live for my way bag, so I don't even have the wonky wheel. But I've definitely pulled the wish a motherfucker would. You move.
Yeah,
move.
I need
bitch,
that. I'm
get out the way.
That's my goal for the. We're at the midpoint ish for the year.
Yep.
So that's for the rest of 2024. My goal is to up my confidence level.
That's right.
Yeah.
I want to be more confident. That's right. You move.
It's hot stepmom summer.
You're right. It is. And I'm going to move through life with that energy. It's an energy. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. And you know what? I'm going to wear pumps with capris.
Pumps and capris and a drink with a straw throat.
That's right. It's desperate housewife energy.
Oh, love it.
Aesthetic. I'm going to do
lip gloss.
Second Wives Club. Here we come.
Love it.
Oh man.
The cover up for the bikini. Yes.
A caftan and heels by the beach or by the pool.
Can you get the heels with like the little fluffy on the front?
100%. Yeah, I'm going to answer the door in one of those I just murdered my husband robes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay, here we go. I love this, Russ.
You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Sounds good.
Yes.
And we're back.
All right. I'm sorry to do this to you guys again. But it's a bit of a bummer.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I have ones on my list, not to say that any time we ever do this segment is good, but I have ones on my list that are more lighthearted. But then Medium will send me something and I'm like, what's that? And I click on it and I'm like, well,
here we are.
Here we are.
Deep in the mystery right now about that guy or the woman that was arrested. I think her name's Karen Reed for like supposedly like running over her cop boyfriend.
I saved that to our My Worst Date Instagram.
Yeah, but
I haven't read it yet.
It's very convoluted. It's very convoluted.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of relationship stuff going on in the media right now. There was that makeup artist here in LA. Did you hear about that?
No.
You actually should look into that because maybe you've worked with her
I'm
before.
like, tell me.
She was dating a actor. And he, an actor on the show that our friend Scotty worked on, Archive 81, and I guess were in the process of breaking up. She was trying to break up with him because he'd been violent with her before.
Oh, it's so scary and dangerous.
Broke into her apartment, like through a window or something, and stabbed her 20 times.
Oh, no.
And she's okay. She's recovering.
Oh, she didn't die.
She did not die. There's a GoFundMe for her if anyone wants to look that up.
I need to find out who this person is.
Yeah. They found him trying to flee to Mexico, like he was trying to cross over the border. And so he's been arrested, charged with attempted murder. But horrifying. And then there's, of course, Micah Miller, which so
that's
sad
terrible.
Too. Yeah, a lot of bad relationship stuff. Well, maybe we'll cover it later.
We should find the GoFundMe link for
I can put it on the website with the rest of the show notes.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'll just need to be reminded about that. Okay. So Spencer Hight met Meredith Lane when she transferred from a college in Georgia to attend the University of Texas at Dallas to study mathematics. Spencer was her neighbor, and the two, they hit it off immediately. And Spencer described, like, he could not stop talking about Meredith to his friends. He described it to a friend as fire and chemistry. Like, when he met Meredith, it was just fireworks.
Ooh.
It wasn't long before the two married in a small ceremony in Collin County, Texas, before exchanging ceremonial vows on a Caribbean cruise the following year. the couple seemed to be really, really happy in the beginning. I don't know how long they knew each other, but I don't think very long before they got married. So they're still in that kind of like honeymoon.
And they're like college age too, right?
Yes. Like she was still in college when they first got together. Yes. So they would share like long Facebook and Instagram posts about each other. And a friend of Spencer described his feelings toward Meredith as head over heels. So he was really, really, really taken with her. And I think she was with him too. Still, her family had some reservations, with Meredith's mother noting that Spencer never really wanted to spend time with her, with the mother or the family. So anytime the family would come to visit, he would kind of just take off into his room and play his computer games in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's kind of,
dude. And people notice that too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a thing. I've been in that place where you're just trying to explain like, they're just, you know.
Yeah. And I also get it. Like, I understand having social anxiety and being around, especially when you don't know them very well, like being around someone else's family can be really anxiety provoking. However, if this is a serious relationship, that is something that you need to be committed towards. Like, this is, you're married, like this is also your family. Like you gotta spend time with them.
You gotta suck it up, man. Even if you don't love it, you just gotta suck it up once or twice.
Even if it's not all
whatever,
night, like just put in some good time with them. Like have dinner, like hang out, talk for a while, and then if you want to
pull your wife aside and just be like, my social battery is running out, and I'm gonna have. Is it okay if I just I'm gonna step out for a bit?
But if it was my daughter, sister, whoever, I would take note of that. I might not say anything, but I'd be like, that I'm putting a.
I would say something.
I put a pin in that.
Everybody knows I would say something.
But what she would later find out is that Spencer was attempting to hide a growing alcohol problem. So he was in that room playing video games and drinking, basically. Yeah. So though Spencer was described as a free-spirited guy who loved dogs and art, he was also considered a party animal with a short temper and an affinity for guns, knives, and swords.
Don't love any of that combination.
Right.
That's not the combination you want.
I think the combo of drinking a lot and loving guns is a very scary combination.
It's not.
Well, and what's so scary too is that some people are going to have like one drink and have a problem, and some people it's going to be 10,000 drinks and then they're going to have a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to know.
If you keep drinking, it will like eventually, I mean, everybody's got a switch that flips and you don't know when and what that's going to be.
Well, it's one glass of wine and I switch on my crazy happy love you face.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah. For me, it's like, what is it? Like 3 glasses of wine and I get a little teary about everything.
Margarita.
You're right. Yeah. But I mean, and it's also on you to recognize, like, if you are a person who has a temper and you know that your temper is activated when you drink, you got to moderate your drinking or stop drinking.
Right.
Like, and I know
I also feel
more
like
complicated than that, but
if you can look inside yourself and know that you are hiding it.
Yes.
You're hiding it for a reason.
Right.
Because part of you knows
there's shame
it's
there.
A problem.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. I agree completely. In 2015, the couple purchased their first home together in Plano, Texas. Around this same time, Spencer lost his job at Texas Instruments. So Meredith had a job working for Coca-Cola in Fort Worth, and she was willing and able. I mean, look, relationships go through highs and lows. It's not always going to be 50-50.
That's right.
There's going to be times when someone else has to pull the weight. And Meredith knew that. And she was happy to take it on. So even though they just purchased this house, she's like, I make enough money to pay for the mortgage. So I will cover the mortgage while you get back on your feet. Yeah. Spencer told his friends that Meredith was understanding at first, but as months turned to years, she began hounding him. Hounding him. Years.
Hounding.
Years. You're out of line. You are out of pocket.
Yes.
Covering you temporarily while you get on your feet is one thing, and I'm happy to do that.
Absolutely.
I am very unhappy if I've been doing it for years and I come home and you are playing video games on the motherfucking couch.
Dog needs walked.
Yes.
Hasn't been out.
Yes, hounding him for not contributing to the household. The two began to fight constantly, not only about Spencer's lack of employment, but also about his increasing alcoholism. Yeah. Because she was basically working all day and she'd come home and he's drinking all day and playing video games. How are you
affording all that alcohol if you ain't got no job, honey?
They always find a way. So she's working to pay for the house that they've purchased together.
And his alcoholism.
Yeah. Eventually, in March of 2017, so about 2 years later, Meredith asked Spencer to leave. She was like, I've hit my limit. I've given you 2 years to figure something out. And not only have you, it's not like you're going out every day trying and it's just you're coming back empty handed. You're not even trying. Because that to me is different. Like if sometimes the economy is shit.
Listen, it is. You can go and it is right now. It's really difficult for people to find there's been a lot of layoffs within tech. Right. Within my own industry is very, very difficult.
And would it be frustrating if you were shouldering that whole responsibility for 2 years, no matter what? Like, yes, it would be frustrating, but would it feel completely different if you felt like the person was doing everything they could and they just were coming up empty handed? Yeah, that would be different.
I mean, that's kind of how I felt with my son having been back at our house, but it was like,
but it was COVID.
Right.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't mind carrying that burden for him for a little while, knowing that it's COVID, knowing that he's also was going to school at the same time.
Yep.
You know, it's not like he was just sitting on his ass 100% of the day and doing nothing.
So to me, like that would be enough for her to need to get space from this relationship.
Yeah.
However, not only that, but though she never filed a police report, she would later say to her parents that Spencer had been physical with her on several occasions when he was drinking, leading up to the separation, including the last time in which he slammed her head repeatedly against a wall.
No, fuck you.
So that was the final straw where she was like, we're not doing this.
This is I understand not wanting to maybe call the police on things, but it's about having a paper trail. It's about having a paper trail and a known person who is knowingly violent. It is important.
Yeah, but I agree with you completely, and I advocate for that. I think everybody should do that.
I see both sides.
But I do understand that feeling of, especially women, but I think everyone can do this. So there can be this like almost toxic amount of empathy and compassion, especially when it's someone who's dealing with substance problems, because you've seen them not drunk, right? So you're like, this isn't who they are.
Right.
Like
I don't want to ruin their life. Right. Their life's shitty enough already.
Right. Exactly. And so I can totally see why she was like, I just need to get him out of my life. That's enough. Like, I don't need to do anything else.
Yep.
But I completely agree with you. I think in most cases, when you see an escalating pattern of violence like this, it's better just to have the paper
trail.
But it would be hard for me.
But it's also dangerous too. If this person, you're like, if I escalate it by doing that, do I put myself in danger?
I really just want to be out. I just want to be out. I just want to be away. So like, if I can just get him to go away, then it's fine. I don't need to do anything else. I think I would feel the same way. And sadly, even knowing what I know, having done this podcast for as long as I have, I think I might do the same thing where it's just like, my parents you still love this person. Yeah. And so when Spencer left the house, he moved in with his friend, James Dunlop. He was described at the time as sulky, spending his days drinking and oscillating between crying and fits of anger. Just self-pity.
Do not love that.
And whenever he was having these moments, usually fueled by alcohol, he would take to Facebook and rage about Meredith. One of his posts talked about body slamming Meredith, while one ranted calling her soulless.
Okay, see,
if you are watching your friends,
if I saw my friends post that about my friend, 911 fucking
yeah,
immediately.
I guess you don't even have to have a police report. He already wrote himself out on it.
Yeah. In July of 2017, after 4 months apart, Meredith filed for divorce, citing discord or conflict of personalities. Spencer again reached out to people online and in a private message with a friend kept repeating the same phrase over and over, quote, "How can the one person you're supposed to love more than life itself end up being the one person you hate more than life itself?" Listen, breakups are hard.
And I got to be honest with you, that you want to be like, well, if that person had probably, because I just, you're going to go down this path of like, would have, could have, should have, if you're that person who got that message. But I mean, there's no threat in there.
No,
and so you just relationships are hard,
and that's what you would chalk it up to, especially if you know this person and you know them to be fun loving at other time. I think you make a lot of excuses for
the people that you love. I agree.
And the people you care about. Like, I think as a when it's your friend, I think it's hard for you to see that like this is
Let's
scary.
normalize if you're truly friends with somebody, if you're
telling them the truth.
Tough love, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is.
God, it's hard. You want very much to just be lovey-dovey about it, but let's normalize, like, sprinkle a little honesty on that like, love take.
You got to get
where
it
you
together.
at right now?
You got to get it
together.
This
doesn't look good.
Yeah.
No, and I'm worried about you, and this friend, because I didn't include everything. There was a really good article that I will link. I will say you have to give them your email to read it, but I have a special little spam email anyway. So
perfect.
I recommend that. But there's a really good article. It's like a local article. It's a Texas something, or not Texas Monthly, but something like that. Dallas Star or whatever. And they did interview this friend and she remained anonymous, but she did say that she did say to him, like, I hope you like curb your drinking. Like, I am concerned about the way you're handling this. But she did also say that haunts her, that he would say that phrase over and over and over to her. But again, on the surface, I don't know that you would immediately jump to like,
no,
he's going to kill it.
No. Yeah, my mind wouldn't go there at all. My mind would be like, oh, you're not in a great place.
You're in a bad place, I hope. And that's kind of what she did. She's like, don't deal with this by drinking. Like, know, because you're clearly not in a good place right now. Find a healthier way to deal with this. So I'm like, girl, you don't have anything to be, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
While Meredith tried to rebuild her life, Spencer continued along a self-destructive path. And on September 10th, 2017, an already noticeably intoxicated Spencer entered the local public house, which was a bar in Plano that he was a regular at. So they knew him. Mm-hmm. And he began ordering drinks back to back. So he was drunk when he got there and then or at least intoxicated when he got there, and then started drinking back to back. And this was kind of like afternoon. It wasn't even like evening, As he became increasingly drunk, his behavior became more and more erratic. Surveillance footage shows at one point he takes, after several drinks, he pulled a large knife out and began spinning it on the bar.
911.
How scary for everyone else who's there.
911. No.
He then pulled a gun from his waistband and began waving it around. According to the bartender, Lindsay Glass, he was raving about how he needed to put someone in their place and had, quote, dirty work to do.
Dude, 911. Why? I know it's Texas where it's all rooty tooty, fresh and fruity, but Jesus fucking Christ, dude, you can pull a gun out in the bar and do that shit?
Well, as a bartender, I would be terrified of that because you got intoxicated people with guns out. No. So
I feel like that can't be legal.
No.
I mean, he put
I fucking hope not.
I actually don't know. That's what's the scary thing about this country. So I don't know, actually. If you have an open carry license, can you just pull it out?
In a bar where
know.
alcohol is? Oh my God.
So Lindsay, the bartender, did become concerned. But instead of calling the police, she texted her manager, Timothy Banks. In the text, she explains the situation, that Spencer is spitting a knife at the bar, that he keeps saying he has dirty work to do. And in the text, she calls him a psycho. When Banks,
the police,
so he shows up, Timothy Banks, the manager, shows up to the bar. He tells Spencer that he's making other patrons uncomfortable and instructs him, doesn't kick him out, but is like, you need to go put your knife and your gun in your car. Like, you can't have them in the bar. So he does that. Around 7:30 that night, Spencer gets his tab and decides to leave the bar. Fearing that he might hurt someone, both Glass, the bartender, and Banks, the manager, follows Spencer from the bar, where he proceeds to drive to Meredith's home.
Oh my goodness.
That night, the Dallas Cowboys were playing, and Meredith, who loved to cook and entertain, was hosting one of her first parties solo since her divorce from Spencer with 8 of her friends.
Oh my God.
Glass and Banks, who had followed Spencer to the home, were sitting in their car. And they couldn't shake that something bad was going to happen.
Why aren't you calling the fucking police?
Right. Well, they do. So they know that he's armed, he's acting erratically. So they call 911, they explain their fears, and then they leave the scene. So they leave. Neighbors described that the sound of the party was joyous. They were laughing, they were shouting at the game, they were having a really good time before a belligerently drunk Spencer entered into the backyard where he confronted Meredith holding a rifle. One of the neighbors later reported that they heard Meredith say, "Do you really have to do this?" before he opened fire on her, killing her instantly.
Oh my God.
He then turned the gun on the rest of the party,
Jesus Christ.
shooting continuously, spraying bullets across the room, shooting all 8 partygoers. When the police arrived, Spencer was still shooting and refusing to lay down his arms, so he was shot and killed by police. 7 of the others, including Meredith, were pronounced dead, with 2 others being transported to the hospital. 1 died, while the other, a young woman named Carly Shockey, was in serious condition, but would be the only member of the party to survive.
That is so fucking awful.
Horrible. Plano Police Chief Greg W. Russian would go on to say, "We've never had a shooting of this magnitude, never had this many victims." So the victims were Meredith, who was 27, Anthony Cross, 33, Olivia Defner, 24, James Dunlop, 29, Daryl Hawkins, 22, Ryan Morgan, 31, Maya Bass, 28, and Caleb Edwards, 25.
Wow.
James Dunlop, who was one of the victims, was the friend that Spencer had allowed to stay in his house when he left Meredith, upon their separation. And Ryan Morgan had been close to Spencer as well. He had acted as the best man in his and Meredith's wedding. The Junior League of Collin County organized a vigil for the victims of the attack 10 days afterwards. This is the article I was talking about. The Dallas Morning News has a really beautiful tribute to the victims in this article. So I didn't include it because it's actually quite a lot, which is great. So they highlight each of the victims. They interview people who were close to them and, kind of like give this really beautiful tribute about what their lives were like. I mean, all these people were in their 20s and early 30s. Like,
yeah, I think about like our friend group and the like gatherings that we have.
Yeah, if someone came in with a gun
next week.
Right. If someone came in with a gun and just open fire in there. It's so scary. In the aftermath of the shooting, it was discovered that Spencer's blood alcohol level was 4 times the legal limit. And the bartender who served Spencer that night was charged with selling alcohol to an intoxicated person.
Yep.
So this law forbids bartenders from selling an alcoholic beverage to a habitual drunk or an intoxicated or insane person. Her attorney argued that much of Spencer's odd behavior was done without Lindsay around. And in addition to that, when she did witness his demeanor, she notified the manager and even followed him home. So with this defense in mind, the grand jury denied to indict her. The bar itself, however, was found partially responsible in a civil suit that was filed by the only surviving victim, Carrie Shockey, and her family. The verdict found that $17 million are owed to the surviving victim. Wow. I mean, it's likely that this is going to be tied up in appeals forever. And they're never going to have to pay out that amount of money. But I think more than the money, she and her family want legal changes made.
Absolutely.
To prevent this from happening again. Yeah. I mean, common sense fucking gun laws would help.
Well, yeah, that would help. And also there are laws, very tight laws. At least I know the ones in California and the ones in Ohio and the ones in Florida
about drinking,
very tight
serving.
About serving alcohol.
I've seen someone cut off at a bar before.
Yeah. You have to take a fucking test of like how to know when to cut people off and that kind of thing.
Well,
I'm not trying to pass blame because
I get it.
What have you, but but I also don't think they're 100% in the clear.
Well, I think someone pulls a gun out. Yeah, someone pulls a knife out. You should have
called the fucking police. Period.
You kick that, and you bare minimum you kick that you call security and you kick that person out of your bar. You don't let them
keep
serving them.
No, you definitely don't keep serving them. That is for fucking damn sure.
In a statement after the verdict, Carrie said that she wants to help others who have gone through what she has gone through. Meredith's mother says that she wishes her daughter had taken stronger action against Spencer when she left him knowing what they know now, but she wishes he'd gotten a restraining order. But you don't know.
That is so left field.
Yeah, that's also very blaming to the
it's
victim.
her daughter.
Yeah.
I think that she just looks back on it with hindsight, and this is someone who had been physically violent with her.
Yeah,
I think he was more dangerous than they thought. And with hindsight, I would say the same thing. I would say if it was one of you, I would say like,
I wish we had known. I wish we had paid more attention.
I wish we had filed a restraining order. I wish we had taken stronger action, you know? And I think that that's all she means by that. But yeah, I don't blame, I mean, you can't blame Meredith at all.
No.
And how could you have, this is someone you loved or love still. And like, you can't think that they would be capable of that kind of thing. Even if you know they've been violent before, they have alcohol problems. You never think they're going to take it that far.
Right.
You know? And these are people he liked.
I know.
Like he's friends.
Out of his mind.
He had friends there.
Yeah, he's out of his mind on this. But
so sad. It was so sad.
Wow, man.
So sorry.
No.
I couldn't believe I hadn't heard that. Like it's a mass shooting.
That's it's something to be said again about common sense gun laws is that it would be very difficult to keep up with all of the mass shooting stories in this country, unfortunately.
Yeah, in 2017, I want to say that there was probably a big mass shooting that happened around that time too. So we probably weren't even.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's so many where it's just like, this one probably flew under the radar. But because it is relationship related, I'm surprised we haven't seen it on a Dateline or on another show or something like that.
Wow.
But
well, what are you guys watching this week?
I did go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it good?
It actually was really, really good. I mean, because I watched all the Planet of the Apes movies, you know, I was like, I'm going to watch them all. And then I went and saw it. I actually think it's worth seeing on the big screen. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because it's very ape centered.
Okay.
So it's ape heavy, it's an ape heavy movie. So a lot of talking apes happening.
Okay, great.
You sold me. I don't.
You're like, awesome. Great. I love this for you. But the action, Cassie, amazing.
I love action.
They deserve awards for the amount of like CGI work that they have put in.
I like the orangutan.
The orangutan is always my favorite.
Yeah.
There's always an orangutan. And it's a different orangutan in this one because it takes place in the future.
Oh, okay.
So it's not Maurice, who's the orangutan from the first 3 movies. It's a different orangutan.
Amazing.
And he's just as lovable. I love him so much. So I actually would recommend it. I thought it was very enjoyable. And if you like action movies, I think it's a very well done action movie. And I think the Oscars needs to start recognizing like action movies and stuff because
I agree.
I think that the CGI was so well done.
Oh wow,
nice.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
all right.
I actually have watched a few things, but it's been like Bones and like Agatha Raisin, like things like that.
Agatha Raisin.
Yeah. So Agatha Raisin is a British show.
British. Yeah.
Of course it is. But it's the Scottish woman from Ugly Betty. Do you remember the lady who worked in the?
I bet I would if I saw, but I don't remember.
Oh, I haven't
seen Ugly Betty in so long.
Anyway, but I watched 2 trailers.
Oh, okay.
Twisters.
Okay.
Yeah, that is from my job. I've seen that trailer many times. Yes.
Awful.
Twisters.
It looks fucking insane. It looks bonkers.
No comment.
It looks fucking bonkers.
It truly does.
But
you know
also
what? I rewatched the first Twister recently.
Yeah.
That movie was kind of bonkers too.
I literally was just about to say that. I'm like, but
it's like
to be fair,
at one point,
yes,
it's
just like, and what are we doing? It's a movie about chasing tornadoes. Okay, anyway. But the other movie I watched or trailer I watched was The Crow.
That actually looks good.
Looks so good.
I'm
Bill
shocked that it looks so good. And I love him.
Oh man.
And FKA Twigs.
He was born the same year you were.
Yeah, we're the same age. And yeah.
Oh man, it looks good as fuck.
It actually really does. I'm surprised by how good it looks.
I was surprised. Yeah. It's been so long since I watched the first one that it was like the trailer was actually a refresher. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That movie was really good. But the new one looks amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's in his bag. I'm like, get your money, Bill. I love this for you.
Yeah.
He's in like, horror thriller, that arena.
It's kind of perfect. He looks so hot in it too. He's got a face tattoo.
Very
attractive. Like the cop kind.
He's a hot man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of a rough day yesterday. It was a little bit hectic, a little bit scary. So we came home and we wanted to take it easy. And so we turned on Disney Plus and we watched Jim Henson, Idea Man.
Oh.
And
you love documentaries.
You
fucking cry. When they, spoiler alert, he's not alive anymore, if you didn't know. And they did the clip from his funeral of Big Bird singing.
Girl, I'm going to cry right now. I'm going to cry right now. Do you know, that shit gets me. It's part of why I can't really watch it. I watched the Mr. Rogers, Won't You Be My Neighbor documentary on the plane. On a plane. Girl, I was like,
crying on a Southwest flight. Is there anything worse?
No.
Girl, I was like,
I've done it.
There's just something so heartwarming, but we need to be reminded that there's like beauty.
Yeah. And I mean,
what a special guy.
He really was. He happened into puppetry and was just like a fucking genius about it.
Yeah.
He like invented this whole thing. And I love watching documentaries about people that do extraordinary things because when you break it down, they are ordinary people that just have ideas. And it's the same reason why I love TikTok is that sometimes you just see ordinary people have a really genius idea and it's really fucking cool. It's the best part about being human.
It is. And we need reminded of that. We do. Like, especially now, like things are so dark and scary and you know, like, and I feel like every time I open the news, I'm just devastated by what I'm seeing. And it's easy to forget that like there's so much like good and beauty and people fighting for, you know, the rights of others every single day. And
people just want to have a good life for them and their kids. Yeah. And that's all. We all have that in common.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of beliefs and everything like that. Everybody just wants to have a decent life and a good life for their kids.
You know, it's so hippie, but I was reading some book. I don't think it was Thich Nhat Hanh because it's too simplistic to be his work, but like it was something like that. And they said, you know, it really all comes down to, no matter like how hippy dippy it sounds, is like what we all really want is peace and love.
Yeah.
That is really what everybody wants. We just want to have like a peaceful life.
Yep.
And we want to have love in our life.
Yeah.
And
that is really just what people who want chaos though. And that's what we deal with.
There must be some people, but I think on the whole, I really think there's more good people than bad people.
I agree.
It's just the bad people do so much fucking damage. And it's
it is hard. So that's why watch this documentary. It will make you, it hugs your heart. Because that's my fucking childhood is Labyrinth, Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
That shit was magic.
Yeah. And Sesame Street has done so much good.
Sesame Street.
So much good.
The Muppets in general. Like Muppets Take Manhattan. Muppet, you know, like that was all our childhood.
Can I just say that I recently found out that there's going to be a Reading Rainbow documentary?
Yes.
Soon?
Yeah.
It's out.
It's out.
My heart.
I know.
In the sky. Oh my
God.
Yeah.
I can go twice as high.
I watched the trailer. It's really meaningful.
I'm gonna die.
It's gonna be so good.
I think I've said it before on the podcast, but it bears repeating. I went to an award show where LeVar Burton was receiving an award. And
I love him.
I was in the audience when he's butterfly in the sky. I was like dying.
Oh my God.
Dying.
Simpler times. Well, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have a terrible date story, if you just want to reach out and say hello, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much.
Cheers.